What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. Let's talk about it. But before we get into it, do me a favor. Hit that like for me. And if you're new, hit that subscribe. It's free to you, but it means a lot to me. All right. I didn't know I can do that. Okay, I'm not going to do that. We're going to talk about excuses and how they don't benefit you. This should be a conversation that almost anybody can add insight to. This is something at some point, if we don't do what we did, um, I just found that there's no true benefit to it. And anytime you take something away, you always need something to substitute it. So I'm going to offer the tool I use instead of excuses. But I do want to clarify something. An explanation, it's not an excuse. Things happen and things happen for a reason. And an explanation is simply clarifying what happened. But the important thing that comes with explanation is you fixing whatever issue it is. So I do want to say that because I had one of my people. Well, I mean, I had these conversations with friends and family all the time, and one of my boys was like, "Well, it's not an excuse, it's an explanation. But if something happens and it's for a reason, then you should have something there to rectify the situation." So I think that's important to understand. But yeah, excuses. A lot of times when we make excuses for things, we just try to push it off. You just try to push it off. And the key factor what people forget is when excuses are made, you lose the opportunity to learn from the experience. And that's why I said an explanation is different from an excuse. Because if something did happen and you didn't have control over it, and you understand you wronged someone, you hurt someone, fixing it is the key. But a lot of times, what people do is try to justify things they did, and they know it wasn't supposed to be done. So that's the thing, the justification, to justify something that shouldn't have been done, or like I said, make an excuse. You don't learn from it. And a lot of times people get stuck in that cycle of making the same mistakes over and over because instead of learning, they just simply make an excuse. They brush it off, try to push it to the side. And then even making excuses, they become habitual, right? Anything that you do over and over becomes a habit. And I guess the best way to explain this is to use myself as an example. I had anger issues, right? And a lot of times I took my anger out on other people. And when I did so, I always found a reason to blame the person that I took my anger out on. And sometimes you might say it was justified. Hey, Marlene, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're still in here. I appreciate you, sis. But a lot of times when I took my anger out on, instead of taking accountability, I just blamed it on them. Well, they did this or they did that, even though they might have did something, but what I did to them didn't justify what they did. But they did something to me. So what up, Perp? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. But a lot of times, the things that I did to people, like I said, it was more of a me problem than a problem that the other person actually did. But since I felt like they gave me a reason to take my anger out on, that's the excuse that I use. Well, this person stepped on my shoe, or this person said this, or this person said that. And like I said, me being older and mature now, I look back at a lot of things, and it wasn't really what the person did to me didn't justify what I did to them. But like I said, me taking personal accountability, I realized this, that I did this because I was angry, because I had problems, and I waited for someone to give me the opportunity to lash out instead of fixing what was wrong with me. But like I said, as I matured, I learned. I learned that I had issues. A lot of them stemmed from when I was a kid, and some of them stemmed from when I was older. But when I stopped making excuses, I was able to identify that and I was able to fix it. So now, Amos, what up, word? What up? I said, what up, word? Nate, what up, brother? But now, um, I check myself, you know, even if someone does say something to me, I realize it's just a word. And I realize that maybe they didn't mean it in the way I took it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But the important part is when I feel that emotion, I take responsibility for my own feelings before I react or push the blame on someone else. Because a lot of times we deal with things in life, and things build up, and it can be hustle, what up? And it'd be that one incident, right? That make us snap, the straw that broke the camel's back. And a lot of times, the way we lash out is not deserving. It's not. And sometimes we can say it is, but ultimately, not making an excuse helped me self reflect and realize that I had issues too. And like I said, by accepting responsibility for whatever action I took and not making an excuse for it, I was able to fix it and I was able to learn from it. A lot of times you see people do things over and over and over, and you wonder why they didn't learn from it, why they keep going through the same thing. But then when you ask them, they blame it on someone else. Well, this person did this, well, this person did that. And they never take responsibility for the actions that they did. They use justification. They justified, Angel, what's up? They justify it by the actions of what other people do. Anytime a situation happens between two people, both sides should look at the situation and take accountability for their part. That's the only way we learn. I mean, if you keep letting people trigger you, and you can easily say, hey, this person did this person did that. But ultimately, if someone is triggering you, that you have a problem, you have an issue that need to be fixed because people triggering you. Like I made a video before, we all responsible. We all responsible for our own feelings and emotions. And even though other people do things, ultimately it's still up to us to be able to control oneself. Because if someone knows that they can push a button, they go push it. I mean, if someone knows you eagerly triggered, they can manipulate you. They can put you in a situation. Um, and again, using myself as an example, people knew I was hot headed. So uh, this one dude used to take me around people he didn't like, knowing that he can trigger me. And when he did that, then I lose control. And it wasn't even him technically triggering me. He find a way to get other people to trigger me because he knew what my buttons was. And I used to lash out. And then once I realized, like, hold on, he put me in these situations and conditions. I couldn't even be mad at him because I knew I allowed that to happen. I couldn't even be mad at him. I allowed it to happen. I allowed myself to be triggered over words. A lot of times it was words. Um, but once I understood that, um, not only did I understand he wasn't right for me, but I gained control. You know, Now I would like to think, and I'm human. I'm not perfect, so I'm pretty sure it's something that can be said to me to get me in my emotions. But ultimately, I'm aware of it. So even when I feel it, I'm not in a reactive mode. I'm more in a response mode. That's how we take control, not reacting, actually thinking about it, analyzing it, and coming with a solution or coming to a solution or action that is more having the more favorable end result. But that's the key. That's one of my life hacks, right? Is not making excuses. And my father, uh, I thank him every day because that was never really an option for me, was to make an excuse. Not with him. So anything that happened in school, anything that happened when I was playing sports, martial arts, I could never make an excuse. I could never talk to my father and have an excuse. He always wanted to know what I did, for me to take accountability for it and to correct it. He didn't mind explanation of why I did something, because once you identify why you did something, then you can solve the problem. But when you make an excuse, you're just pushing the blame on someone else. You just pushing the blame on something else, someone else. Miss Tracy, real, what up? Real, I know, man. My notifications been bugging all day today. I didn't get a notification for a lot of people's stuff, but yeah, uh, that's all it really is pushing the blame somewhere else, not taking accountability. Like I said, an excuse is different from an explanation, because when you come with an explanation, you figured out what went wrong or what you did wrong, and you find a course to correct it. But an excuse is just to push blame. And anytime a situation happens between two people, both parties have to take accountability for the part they played. That's how you learn. I mean, I can easily look back at a lot of situations, especially uh, with women, like with my ex wife. I can sit back and push the blame on a lot of things that happened or transpired between us onto her, but then I won't learn from her. Even though I didn't do nothing egregious, I never, like I told you, I put my hands on her one time, and I took accountability for that. No matter what she did, I shouldn't have hit her, especially the way I did. Even though she busted my lip and stole my car and was over some other dude's house, that's still not a reason for me to put my hands on her. It just wasn't. Um, and I learned from it because I didn't make an excuse. I understood my feelings was hurt, my lip was hurt, I'm bleeding, I'm tasting the blood. I was angry, and I put my hands on her. But I could have easily just said, look at all the stuff she did and try to use that as a justification. But guess what? I wouldn't have learned from it. And I was in situations similar to that after her. But by me learning from the situation, guess what I didn't do? I didn't put my hands on them. I learned to walk away and eventually not to even deal with women who are willing to put their hands on me. Like, if you think you can whoop me, I don't need to be with you. If you think you got a chance at fighting me, well, I don't need to be with you. If we together and you want to fight, and you want to get physical, there's no point in me being with you. I learned because I took accountability. I took responsibility of my actions. I didn't make an excuse. I didn't say, well, she hurt me. Nah, I just took accountability for it. And I learned, like I said, not to be with women who like to get physical. Being, one time I got arrested, right? I don't know if I told y'all the story, but I was in a car with a buddy of mine and I was drunk and high, and passed out in the back seat. And the way I woke up was by getting snatched out of the car by the police, thrown down to the ground, handcuffs on me. And I'm looking like, what the hell did I do? What happened? Well, a buddy of mine in the front seat while I was asleep, they riding up and down the street. He waving a gun out the car, and the cops seen. So when they flicked us, they they seen the gun already, so they took everybody out the car. And we went to jail. And I had to stay the night in jail for 48 hours. Right. Um, like I said, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't even know he had a gun, let alone, like I said, I was drunk and high in the back seat of the car. I didn't know he was waving a gun. I can easily have made an excuse for when my mom, came and got me. Like, well, I didn't know I was in a car with a guy with a gun waving it out the window. I took accountability for my part because I shouldn't have gotten in the car, not knowing what was in the car. So I took accountability for the part I played. I got in the car with some people, even though they was friends of mine. I hung out with them every day. I wasn't aware of what was in the car when I got into it. So now when I get in the car, I ask people, "You got anything illegal in here? Because if you do, just let me know." And that way, I have the power to make the decision to get in and out. You know. But I learned from that situation, and then I just learned not to hang around stupid people. You know. But like I said, if I didn't take responsibility, if I just made an excuse, I would continue to make the same mistakes, and that's what happens. You tend to push blame. Like I said, even in that situation, I could have easily said, it wasn't my gun. Um, I didn't even know, and all this is true. It wasn't my gun. I didn't even know he had the gun. I didn't know he was waving it. But I'm still responsible for me. So not only am I responsible for me, I'm responsible for who I put myself around. I'm responsible for the environments I go in. I should know the situations I'm getting myself into before I get into them. And I'm pretty sure we all been in situations where things happen and we felt like we didn't have control and we just say, hey, it was them. But at the end of the day, you put yourself around them people. You put yourself in that environment. And as long as you keep justifying it or making an excuse of why it happened or why you didn't have no control over it, you're gonna continue to make those same mistakes, go around them same people, go into those same environments. Now, and I'm pretty sure, um, like I said, we all been in situations where things happen and other people initiated it. But then you got to think too. Um, did I see any of these traits or attribute in this person before it happened? And if I did, why did I continue to put myself around them? Because that's the thing. It's not fair, I don't think, but it is a thing. James, what's up, brother? It is a thing called guilty by association, right? They say birds of a feather flock together. So we have to be cautious of who we put ourselves around because we do have power over that. If I know someone, like now I'm a father, I'm a husband. So my biggest responsibility is to my wife and kids. So no matter if I got a friend from back in the day and they not doing right, if they still into the hood mode, the hustling, and I go around them and something happens, it's not their fault, it's mine. That's who they are. That's what they do. It was my choice to be around them, my choice to put myself in that environment. So pushing the blame on them, I'm gonna just continue to do it. But, self accountability. Um, self accountability will make you look at situations, people with a magnifying glass, right? Because, like I said, it is a thing called guilty by association. So, whatever, whoever you associate yourself with, you're responsible for the outcome. It don't matter if you did something or they did something while they was with you, you still responsible. You still decided to put yourself around them people in those environments. And making an excuse only go continue that cycle if you making those bad decisions. It's no benefit. It's no true benefit in making excuses. It only stunts your growth. But I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Anybody got anything to add to that? Because, like I said, this is just my perception, just the way I see it. But like I said, a lot of things in this world be a lot different if people stop making excuses. Even what we see on social media nowadays. The things people do, the things people say. I see a lot of people making excuses. And I mean, when you do that, like I said, there's no room for learning. There's no room for growing. Because when the situation happen again, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to make another excuse. Even this, I joke about it and everything, but I am legally blind, right? So I could sit up here and use that as a crutch, right? For me to be lazy, for me not to try things, for me to give up on life, but I don't. I just find ways to get things done. And the more I do that, the more confidence it builds in me, that I can accomplish things, even though, I have a disability now. I wasn't always like this, so I'm used to doing things. But now, there's some stuff I can't do no more, and that's okay. But for me to just give up on life, that's an excuse. For me not to try, that's an excuse. My dad always told me to say can't is not to try. And we talked about fear the other day. Fear is another reason why people don't try and people use excuses. Because they fear the results. They fear they don't know what will happen or what can happen. But at that point, you just got to figure it out. I was watching this live earlier. Shout out to Tori. She was talking about why do men cheat, right? And it was different reasons where people say men cheat. And the reason I never cheated is because I just always felt like it was weakness. It was me not being disciplined, me not being strong enough. Me not being able to walk away from relationships that I know wasn't beneficial to me, or me not having a discipline not to overcome temptation. Some of the things I was saying, people said, sometimes women make men cheat because they keep saying they cheating. That's an excuse to me. If a woman keep blaming you or saying you cheating, right? Keep accusing you of cheating and you're not cheating, and then you finally go out and cheat and say, well, she kept blaming me or she kept accusing me of cheating, so that's why I did it. That's an excuse. You're not taking responsibility for your lack of discipline, your lack of strength. Me personally, if someone keep accusing me of doing something I'm not doing, I just need to get away from them. That's what I said. I just don't feel, that's just my opinion. I know it's different reasons why people don't, why people treat folks how you want to be. treated. Everybody is down to cross the next person until the get back happens or the shoes on the other foot. And that's fact. Now, would you say, but would you even say that's an excuse at times, realist? Like, uh, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you, you know? Like, even sometimes to get back, because someone did something to you, you feel um, I believe in justice. I'm not gonna lie. If you do something egregious to me, of course, you have to pay as a consequence behind every action, right? But sometimes, like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you got it. Sometimes I had so much anger in me, right? It was like I was waiting for somebody to say or do something just so I can lash out. And I use their action as justification for what I did. But what you saying is 100% right because there is a thing called justice, you know. Um, and for every action, there's a reaction. So if someone smacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. But a lot of times, like just say on this app, say if I was joking with you, right? And the joke wasn't even disrespectful, but I told a joke and then you just went nuclear on me, right? To start talking about dead people and stuff like that. I don't think that's justified. But like I said, people harbor so many feelings and emotions, um, and then they be waiting for somebody to say something or do something or move wrong just to lash out. And sometimes people even go and seek that. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. And then at that point, I look, really said, I think it depends on the extent. In some cases, I believe in justice by my own hands, but I also know the universe sort things out in enough time. And that's all facts. Kalani, what up, brother? And that's all facts. Like I said, some things, like I got responsibilities. So if someone do something and it's not, major, I'll just be like, okay, I just know what type of person this is. I just need to stay away from, you know. Um, and that's the universe part. The universe will handle that. Um, and then sometimes it sounds like he hit his head. and then sometimes, uh, and then sometimes, uh, you have to. Sometimes you have to seek justice on your own. Sometimes you have to rectify the situation. But that's again having a response and not a reaction. Take all things into account. I believe in being strategic with everything in life. um, Weighing the pros and cons, seeing how it benefits, seeing what losses I may take. I think that's just being responsible. Because, like I said, sometimes people do stuff just to get you to jump out the window. And if you jump off the window, no matter if you felt you win or you lost, they win because they didn't change you. A lot of times I see people, go through something with a person. Just say even friends, right? Two friends get into it and now people don't trust other people no more. It's like they won. That was the goal in the first place. You know, was to change you. Kim, what up, sis? And that's what I had to be aware of too, and taking, not making an excuse. This person hurt me, so now I'm a shell up. You know, instead of doing that, because to me that's an excuse. But me looking at it like, okay, I knew better. I shouldn't have dealt with this type of person in the first place. You know, and then that way I learn from it. So anytime I get around people like that, I know they ain't for me. But I'm not gonna close everybody out. Like I had a friend, tell me, be careful on here, because everybody on here ain't for you, and that's 100% right. And I already had early in my YouTube career, I had people that I used to rock with that um, I ain't gonna say. I guess yeah, we don't rock together no more. And I think the situation was. I don't even think it was that serious. Uh, but then I learned, like that person wasn't for me in the first place. And now when I see some of those same characteristics in other people, I understand that's not tolerable for me. That don't work. But I don't shut everybody out. I just understand certain type of characteristics don't blend with me, and it's not even the fact that it's a bad person. It's just like oil and water. Both of them are useful, but they just don't mix. you know. Nets, what up, sis? We building, Chris. What up, brother? You know, um, oil and water are both useful. They just don't mix. So sometimes it's not even the fact that the person can be a bad person. It's just that y'all don't mix. And I had to learn that. But again, I wouldn't have learned that by making excuses. I have to look at the totality of it. I'm this type of personality. They got this type of personality. Those two personalities don't mix. So instead of shutting everybody out or feeling like no one can get close to me, I just recognize what it is. But that's learning. We won't analyze things when we make excuses. You don't really analyze it. You just push it to the side. You push the blame on the other party and keep it moving. And I see a lot of that done um, on different levels. You know, not just on here, but in real life. You know, um, I learned a lot of this. I learned a lot of it working in a hospital. Um, you know, when people lives, when you have the responsibility to help and save lives, there's no room for excuses. The only thing that matters is the result. You know, and that. That was a tough pill to swallow at times because, um, like I said, I worked as an anesthesia assistant. So anytime that we got called, it was somebody not breathing. And a lot of times I had to work with people who I wasn't fond of, that I didn't really care for. But just because I wasn't fond and didn't care of them, that was no excuse for not to work with them to help save a life. But I seen people do that, refuse to go on a call because they don't like the person. But now somebody's life is in danger. Instead of finding a way or figuring out, okay, I just got to do the job and I don't have to sit around them after that. They made an excuse. Well, that person don't like me, so I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. Like somebody's life on the line. It's something bigger than you. And that's why I said my responsibilities are bigger than me. So a lot of times I put my feelings and my emotions on the back burner for the betterment of my family. I can make an excuse like, well, I'm legally blind. I can't work. I can't see. I can't do this. That's not going to render results or positive results anyway for my family. That's not what I'm going to get out of that. So there's no excuses to be made. I got to figure it out. I got to find the best way to get things done. If it's getting special glasses so I can see a computer screen, if it's getting different apps where I can use where things are read to me instead of me trying to read it. I just had to figure it out. But I could have made the excuse, well, I can't see that good. So anything that you do in one aspect of your life, if you know it or not, it leaks into other aspects. So by me not making excuses for why I can't see it, I don't make excuses for anything else. I just assume responsibility. Miss April in the house, Juju on that beat. So yeah, instead of me making excuses for why I can't do something because I can't see, I understand I can't see. So not that well. I can see. I just can't see that good. Um, so I just figure out ways. But by making an excuse, I wouldn't even attempt to look for ways to make things happen. That's why I say excuses are not beneficial. But like I said too, it's a difference between an excuse and an explanation. Because things do happen that's out of our control. But understanding those things help you gain control, not to allow them things to happen again. But like I said, if I just use an excuse of why I can't see and this didn't get done, then every time something happens and I can't get it done, I'm gonna just make an excuse instead of figuring out a way to make it happen. The explanation is I can't see that well, but um, I can substitute things. Like I said, I got special glasses, polarized glasses that actually reflect the light, so now I can see a little better on white screens. But by making an excuse, I would have never sought that out. I got apps that read stuff to me versus me reading it. But if I would have made an excuse I can't see, I would have never sought that out. When you give an explanation, you look for a course of correction. And that's what I did. Yeah, I can't see, but that don't stop me. It shouldn't stop me. But when you make excuses, that's what it does. It stops you. It limits you. The only true limits that we have are the ones we put on ourselves. The only limits we really have. I mean, some of us may be going through medical issues. Some of us may um, be going through mental issues. But even with those things, if you can't do it, then you just put people around you who can. You will find a course of correction. You know, um, bifocals. No, they actually aviator Ray Bans. I look kind of smooth with my polarized glasses, so yeah, I look kind of smooth with them. But yeah, you seek out ways to fix things, to make things happen. When you don't make excuses, because making excuses is just leaving the problem there. Problems are there to be solved, regardless if you can do it or if you need help doing it. And some things I can't drive, but I'm not gonna make an excuse of not going somewhere because I can't drive. I just find somebody else for me to take me there. You see what I'm saying? It's a mindset. That's why a lot of these words I try to get rid of. I don't believe in excuses. It's not needed. It's not beneficial to me, so I don't need it. And what I replaced it with is explanation because, like I said, an explanation is identifying what's wrong or what went wrong and correcting it. An excuse is just to push the blame somewhere else. So that's why we have these conversations because a lot of these ideologies are taught to us, and they taught to us to keep us stagnant. To make us more, like I like to say, submissive to the system we in. Regardless if you believe it or not, we all in this system. Education is a big part of it. The way we educate it, or uh, very useful to the lack of education that we have. Even if you go to school 1 through K, I mean 1 through K, K through 12, and go to college or get a degree. Now I'm educated. Educated in what? You educated in knowing how to work for somebody else. School is not meant for us to be self-sufficient. School don't teach us that. School don't teach us how to be independent. School just prepares you to go work for somebody. Give me 1 second. I gotta move my son real quick. Yeah, my bad. But like I said, even that, right? Um, School doesn't teach financial literacy. Uh, but me being a 38-year-old man, using the excuse, well, school didn't teach me that. Um, I never seek it for myself. You just push that to the side. Well, they didn't teach me that. Well, go teach yourself. The explanation is school didn't teach me that, so I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna put myself around the people who know it, and I'm gonna learn it. Explanations is identifying a problem and finding the correct course to correct it. There's a lot of things that we can push off as excuses on the government. Um, I even hear people, you know, blaming their parents. You know, now you grown, you out your parents' home, and my mom ain't teach me how to cook. Well, why don't you learn how to cook then? Or, I had a bad childhood, so that's why I'm like this now. That's an excuse. You're not a child no more. So correct it. We are responsible for ourselves. So no matter what I went through in childhood, now that I'm an adult, it's my responsibility to fix those problems. Appreciate you, Nets. Like I said, working in the hospital, it was times where we didn't have the right equipment. You know, I don't know if y'all know what ETC tubes are. Those tubes they put down your throat. It was times we didn't have a particular size, and when they called for it, I'm like, okay, we don't have it, but I'll be right back. They say, where you about to go? Well, we got a um, we call it a sister hospital. It's another hospital that we associated with. I called them, and they have it. So I'm gonna go get it. Just keep them breathing until I come back. And when I came back and gave them the tube, they looked at me. They said no one has ever did that before. They just tried to use another tube or trach the patient. It was right down the street. You know, we didn't have it. Yeah, that's an explanation. We don't have it in stock right now, but they got it down the street. So I'm gonna just run and get it real quick. That's the difference between excuses and an explanation. I could just simply make an excuse. Well, we don't have it. It was times we didn't have the right drugs. I just go downstairs and get them instead of saying, well, we don't have that right now. Like my father always tell me, even to this day, can't mean you won't try. Excuses, you don't try. That's even like with this, like I just learned how to do shorts not too long ago. People have been telling me do shorts, do shorts, do shorts. I'm like, okay, I got to figure it out. And it took me a while to figure it out, but I could have made an excuse like I don't know how to do it and hope someone offered to show me. But ultimately, it's still my responsibility. They gave me the information that will help me. Now I got to act on it. Again, the explanation is I don't know how to do it, but that don't mean I can't learn how to do it or I can't put myself around people who do it. And in life, I just truly believe problems are there. All problems are meant to be solved, and it shows the creativity that we possess. And a lot of that was taken away very used to through the institutionalized school systems. When I was younger, they had art programs, they had shop, they had home ec. They even had what was the class called when you got to take the baby around? They don't got that no more. Those were life skills, problem solving skills. They made you be creative. These kids nowadays don't got that. They don't want people to critically think. They want people to be machines. Just do as they say do. And we give our kids over to these systems. And not saying all, but a lot of people, when their kids come home, they don't ask them what did they learn in school today. They don't teach them the things that the school ain't teaching them. They just blame the school. But it's our responsibility. Again, an excuse. Well, the school didn't teach them that. Okay, well, you teach them. That's what I plan on doing with my kids. Me and my wife had a debate about that today. I don't want them to go to school at all. She want them to go through a Pacific grade up until the second grade for the socialization. Well, I'm putting them in martial arts. They can socialize in there. And plus, they get structure. But ultimately, I am responsible for my child's education. I'm not giving that over to the state. I'm not giving that over. I want that responsibility. I'm taking that responsibility because I want my kids not to be educated to work for someone else. I want my kids to hire people to work for them. And school don't do that for them. Even if you go into business, I know a lot of people with business degrees that work for other people. I know people who go to school for 12 to 14 years just to work for other people. Then I know people who never went to um, school higher than grade 12, but they got people working for them. And you look at what's the difference between them and the people who went to school for 12, 14 years. Um, and in my opinion, the biggest difference between them is the innovation, the creativity, the ability to not settle, not to become complacent, not to be comfortable. Excuses makes us comfortable. They do. Excuses gives us a high level of comfortability because if something happened, then we can just blame it on that, blame it on them. You know, um, Even the problems that we have in this country now, I say this, um, the division that we have between men and women, a lot of that, when we talk about it, a lot of it, in my opinion, um, are excuses because it's easy to sit here and say one group does this, the other group does that. But how many people talk about how solving those problems? We do. We had conversations on how to solve the disconnection between men and women. But you hear a lot of people. There's groups on here. We was talking about it yesterday. It's sectors on here where the man just blame the women, and the sectors on here where the women just blame the man, but they don't take no accountability, nor are they looking to solve the problem. I don't believe in talking about things unless I'm looking for a solution. I think it's a waste of time. You just complaining, and complaining don't get you nothing but a headache. But how many people actually um, like looking in these sectors, these groups? I don't hear people talking about solutions. They just blaming the other side. Well, what can you do to solve that? Well, you can't because people, you can. Problems are there to be solved. It's just, are you up to the task? Like with me and my wife, we have disagreements all the time. We don't have arguments because we understand arguments don't solve the problem. But the disagreements just shows our different ways of thinking. So a lot of times we come to compromises. But like I said, we don't argue. We have disagreements with two different people, two different genders, two different cultures. So we think two different ways. But we have enough understanding to know when we're not on the same page at the same time, that I'm not gonna blame her. She not gonna blame me. We're gonna solve the problem. And a lot of times it's compromising or just bringing clarity. A lot of times that work. You know, um, like even the issues between men and women. Sometimes it's just the person you talking to ain't for you. We talked about that last night. Everybody different. Different people will accept different things. So instead of saying, me bashing this woman because she the way she is, I just find a woman that matches, me. There's no point of even caring about how this woman is, you know, because she's just a small example of what's out there. There's different types of women. Like Tay was saying yesterday, some women want to be with men because they got money. And there's some men out there who want those type of women. But just because I don't want them type of women, I don't talk about them. I mean, that's not something that's in my realm. Those not the type of women I even want to be associated with. As far as like getting in a relationship, I don't. If a woman is all about the money, that's not for me. But that don't mean she a bad person. That just means she not for me. And vice versa. Um, just because it's man out there willing to pay for women, that don't make him a bad man. That's just what he like. He's just willing to pay for it. I try not to put too much energy into things that I don't like. I don't focus on those things. Uh, huh? Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, my bad. But yeah, I just think focusing on things you don't like. When whatever you focus on, you attract more of that into your life. Um, so again, the things that we don't like, no purpose of focusing on them. Just focus more on the things you do like, and you'll get more of those things. But like I said, the more you focus on what you don't like, you get more of those things. Whatever you uh, tune in your attention to, that's what you go see. Like whatever you look for, that's what you go find. You know, and especially on this app, on the internet, period. If you type in a specific thing, that's what's gonna come up. So instead of complaining about that it's there, I think we should just focus on the things that we do like, and it might be a small sample size of it, and that's okay. Just focus on that and make that sample size bigger. I hear people all the time say they don't like drama, but they always around it. Well, if you don't like it, why do you always go around it? Again, in my opinion, that's just an excuse because you focus your attention on it. So that's what you get. That's like if I don't and I'm not being naive. There's a lot of things in this world that's just in our face and we can't help but to see it. Um, and a lot of that is by design, but by me being aware of that, um, I can take myself out of it and put myself around the things that I do enjoy. You know, I found a wonderful community on here. Miss Showers in here, Nets in here, Nate in here, Juju in here, Kalani in here. These are the things I enjoy. I enjoy good positive vibes, So I put myself in these people chats, Perp in here. Uh, I put myself in these people chats, and by me putting myself in these people chats, I'm not around the things that I don't like. Even though it's a bigger group of things that I don't care for, that's okay. I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on the things I do care for, and I'm finding more of it. The more I focus on positive people, positive content creators, the more come my way. Realist in here. Uh, the more I focus on that, the more people I begin to find. Miss Tracy, Mary B, Terrence, all these people. Big Rooster, shout out to Big Rooster. All these people, they make content that's beneficial to people. If it's life skills, if it's just positive talks, cooking. ML Fisher, man, I'll be watching his, just positive content. And like I said, the more I focus on that, the more people start popping up. But for a while, I wasn't focusing on that. I didn't even know a lot of these people existed, but I was focused on other things, and I kept getting more of that. And it's easy for me to make the excuse, well, this is all that's on there. Well, that's all I'm looking at. I got to take responsibility for what I put my time into. That's me not making an excuse, but an explanation. When I first came on here, uh, I came on listening to, KB, and he was saying a lot of good stuff, and I'm watching him and watching him and watching him. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then, a lot of drama started happening. People split up, and the people I liked, I started watching their stuff. Some of them was real positive, but it was still drama around it. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I didn't know it was sectors and all that. But then when I start typing in other stuff, I start finding other people. Callie King, what up? Says, I'm going to find your name, Life. I'm going to call you Life. I appreciate you coming through. Yes, Miss Shower. But the more I desired to be around positive people, the more positive people I found. So just in life, I realized that what we focus on is what we, get. What we look for is what we find. So using that intention, having using intention is something that can make or break us. Uh, because if you use that intention to do things you don't want or focus on things you don't want, that's what you go get. But if you use that intention to put yourself around the positive people or the positive things that you do want, that's what you go get. Are you go get some of the negative things? Yeah, because it just exists. But you'll get more of the positive things. You know, like I was saying, with people in general, you know, um, it's a lot of variables involved. It can be a situation or a condition why a person acts a certain way. But once you see that's a habit of a person, you have to be conscious enough to understand that this is who this person is. and then you make the decision to be around that person, to evolve yourself with that person or not. But like DMX said, just please believe a snake will be a snake. If you decide to um, deal with people who you feel have snakish characteristics, well, you go get bit eventually. Eventually, you go get bit, but you can't blame the snake for biting you. That's just the nature of the snake. You have to take accountability and responsibility. And like I said, not making excuses. Well, the snake bit me. Well, why was you around the snake? Oh, because it was cool. Well, snakes bite. And just because it took it a while to bite you, um, you can't blame that snake. That's just what they do. I can't blame a thief. If I know a person a thief and I invite them in my home, I can't be mad when they steal something and say, "Oh, they stole out my home." I can't. No, you knew they were a thief. People are who they are. You just gotta accept people for who they are. You just gotta accept things for what they are. And once you do that, you're able to understand if it's for you or not. Even like I said, the school system. If you decide to put your child in the school system and they don't get the proper education, what you feel they should have when they graduate, you can't blame the school system. It's been like that for years. You got to take some accountability, some responsibility. It's our responsibility ultimately to educate our children. It is just what it is. We can't, um, like I tell people a lot of time, I think uh, we should focus on making our own, having our own stuff. And that way we can dictate what happens. We can have more control on how it functions and operates. But just to keep saying they need to fix this, they don't. They don't have to, nor will they. It hasn't happened, and it won't. It's their system, and it's functioning fine. If it's the medical, if it's the food industry, all this stuff is functioning the way it was created to function, and it's to benefit the people who create it, not the people who use it. So if you want something to benefit you, it's your responsibility to create it. That's what they did. And now you want to go to someone and tell them to fix it so it'll work better for you. That's not how life works. Can't nobody come in my house and tell me what they what they want to make themselves feel comfortable in my house. That's not how it works. That's just not how life works. And when you ask for something, um, you go get what they give you, if it's small or big. If somebody come in here and ask me for Kool-Aid and I only got water, if they thirsty, they go take the water. If not, then oh well, they ain't getting Kool-Aid. And that's how it is. Is it fair? Honestly, like I said, they created it. It's theirs. So yeah, it's fair to them. It's so many different options that we have. We just don't explore them because again, we make excuses. I know people who started clinics and now have small emergency rooms, and they got a 10-year plan to have a hospital. But they started off with a clinic, and they did that because they wanted to give medical attention in a form and in a way that they thought it was beneficial to people because they worked at a hospital and they seen a lot of injustices. So they figured out a way to fix them. And they started with a clinic. Now they got a small emergency room. And within 10 years, hopefully they had their own hospital. And now they can function and operate the way they see fit under the jurisdiction of the state. But they can't, the state can't determine how they give medical care and who they give medical care to. I was watching the Fred Hampton story, and I don't know if y'all know who Fred Hampton was, but he was in a process. He was a Black Panther, and he was in a process of before he died of creating a clinic so he can service the community. But even the Black Panthers, they started the WIC program. They started the free lunch program because they seen something that was an injustice and they see it in a need. And instead of asking the government to do it for them, they did it themselves. They wasn't waiting for nobody to do nothing for them or give them no extra rights or nothing. They went and created it themselves. No excuses. It was an explanation. They're not doing right by us, so we go do right by ourselves. They wasn't asking for nothing. They just went and did it. And if they can do that back in the 60s, why can't we do that now? And my honest opinion is because we make too many excuses. That's just my honest opinion about a lot of this stuff. And that's not me being disrespectful. That's just me giving my simple observation. You know, me and my wife was talking about sending my son to daycare, right? And the funny thing is, as we're talking about it, a news feed popped up on her phone, and it was telling about this daycare that's not too far from us, the abuse they was doing on kids. And I looked at her, and she said, "Well, sometimes, you know, people don't have the resources or people don't have the help, and they have to send their kids to daycare." And my response was this: um, "That's an excuse. It's my responsibility. It's my kids, so I have to put them in the best position. And to me, it's not giving my kid over to a stranger because stuff like this happen. Will it happen to my kid? Probably not. But can it? Yes. And if it happens, I can't make the excuse that, well, I had to work, so I had to give my kid, entrust my kid to someone else. No, I have to be innovative and creative and find a way to make it work for the best, for the benefit of me and my child. It's my responsibility. Eventually, I want to get a group of people together, um, and we help one another. I take one day, you take one day, we can do that. That's what they used to do back in the day. I remember hopping from cousin house to auntie house because my grandma had to work, or all my cousins coming over because uh, my cousin had to work. Most of my cousins are older than my mama, so they kids are my age. So it's like my second cousins. I got a couple second cousins older than me, but we used to go from house to house to house. On one day we might be at my grandma's house. Next day I'm at my auntie house. Next day I'm at my other cousin's house. They found a way to make it work. That's the thing. Back in the day, they didn't have access to a lot of things that we have now. So they found a way to make it work. They didn't make excuses. Sis Rose, what's up? I appreciate you, Sis Rose. Hey Nets, if you still in the chat, please throw or James, can you throw Sis Rose link up in the chat? Y'all go show Sis Rose some love. She show love back. Um, but yeah, I enjoy your I appreciate your support, Sister Rose. You and Nets, y'all amazing. Like I said, it's some amazing, positive people on here. You just got to seek them out, you know. Um, and that's what I did with the help of Nate and a lot of other people. You know, I was able to find a lot of positive people. But yeah, they find ways to make it happen. Sometimes the people with the less resources, well, most of the time, people with the less resources have the most creative ways of fixing and solving problems. And that's because they have no choice. There's no room for excuses. If you look in Africa, you see people they make bikes out of wood. Like, how you make a bike out of wood? They do it. A lot of this technology makes us lazy. Like, even the grocery store, you know, generations have lost the ability to grow their own food and to hunt because of the convenience of the grocery store. But if something happens and those grocery stores running low on food, then people make excuses why they can't eat. That's an excuse. Well, I don't know how to grow. What's stopping you from learning? You making an excuse stops you. Like I said, it's the difference between excuses and an explanation. Well, no one taught me how to do it, but YouTube can, a book can, a person with the information can. I need to put myself around these people. I need to get this book. I need to subscribe to this channel so I can learn how to do what I don't know how to do. That's what explanations do. But excuses just, well, the grocery store didn't have it, so I can't eat. Vegan Kitty, what up, sis? You got I think you got a stick, right? Y'all make sure to go sub up the sis too. I'm just checking real quick to make sure you got a stick. Yeah, you got a stick. But yeah, in my opinion, I hate when I do that. The static all my. This is just my opinion, and this is just um, this is what I learned. You know, it's gonna be things that happen where uh, you don't have control over it during or probably right after, but by not making an excuse, you can look at the problem, you can learn from it, and that way, when it happens again, you'll have a way to correct it or a way to avoid it. But just by making an excuse, um, you go continue in that cycle because every time it happens, you're not gonna look, not go try to find a way to overcome it. You're not gonna find a way to get through it. You just go push the blame. I don't believe no one is powerless. I think that's a choice. I think that's a choice. Sometimes it happens on a conscious level. Sometimes it happens on a subconscious level. But we all get that fire in our belly, that survival instinct. And with me, I just learned that it helps me be creative when problems do arise. I find ways because I don't accept nothing less. I can't accept failure. I'm only gonna learn from it. Like I said, a lot of these concepts makes us stagnant. My father wanted me to do a show about complacency. Um, and like with me and him, I talk to my dad all the time, especially just about life. And being complacent to me is a mental illness. It's just you're in the mode of just accepting whatever comes your way in life, no matter if it's good or bad. And to me, that's a problem because, like I said, I think problems are there to be solved. And when you complacent, you just accept things. You don't try to fix them. You don't try to figure it out. And we have a responsibility not only to ourselves, but for the generations that's coming behind us. You know, I think a lot of the things that we suffer from now is because the generation in front of us didn't know how to fix or solve the problems, and now the problems have become our problems. And like I said, there's no purpose of talking about something if we not gonna try to fix it, because now you're just complaining, you adding to the problem. Maybe I'm using ignorance, but I don't think it is a problem that can't be solved. I know I can't solve everything by myself. I'm not naive. I'm um, not ignorant to that. But problems are there to be solved, and it's gonna take more than just me to fix them. And a lot of the problems that need to be solved that affect a lot of us is because we became complacent. We just willing to accept things given to us instead of going to create our own, instead of finding a way to make it work or make it happen. We just accept it and say that's the way it is. Our ancestors didn't do that. Like I said, even with the Black Panther Party, they didn't feel like they was getting a fair shake. Um, so what they do, they went and created their own. They created the free lunch program. They created the WIC program. Like I said, Fred Hampton was in the process of creating a clinic, to service the people of the neighborhood, to get them proper. He didn't wait for nobody to give him nothing. He went and did it on himself. He got donations. There's all the stuff that we can do now. They educated their own kids. Uh, they schooled them themselves. They didn't send them to them institutions. They said we'd teach them ourselves, and that way we can dictate what they learn. So when they graduate, when they get out of school, they'd be functional adults, not functional workers. And again, it's our responsibility to solve our own problem. We can't wait for the government to do it for us because, like I said, this is not, the system is not broken. It's functioning fine. This is the way it was created. When people create systems, it's not to benefit the people that that's in the system, it's to benefit the people that created it. If that's the case, we wouldn't have poor people. We wouldn't have people living on the street. It's too many millionaires, not even in the United States, on this planet, for anyone to go without anything. It's too many. People buy a boat before they buy a building, a house homeless. They'll buy a boat or a yacht. They'll buy a plane that they might get on a couple times a month before they buy a building to put homeless people in. Why? Because it's not their problem. It's our problem. It's always the middle to low class people helping the people under them. It's never really the top tier people. It's not their problem. It's our problem. But then we look for people to fix our problems. Not their problem to fix. It's ours. And until we understand that and come together and support one another, build with one another, um, it's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why I appreciate this community, because you have big content creators like Terrence supporting smaller content creators. He ain't saying that, they small content creators, they don't deserve my attention. No, he comes out, support in the chat, donate. He's supporting. He understands, you know. His other, I'm not gonna call him big content creators because he got, I think, over 100K. But his other, like Juju, you know, she don't have to do what she do, especially for me or for the other content creators she helped. You know, she already got everything she need. She could be focusing on her, but no, she reached back. Not only do she help with moderating, but she just the game she been giving me on how this YouTube works. She don't have to do that. People get paid to do that. She do it for free. But she understands it's us who help us. They say we all we got, and that's true. Like Net, Sister Rose, they in here. You know, they don't have to support or share out my channel, but they do. You see Nets in here every night. Even if she stopped through, she goes through a whole bunch of different people chats, showing love, spreading love, supporting them. She recognized, these are the people that we need to be supporting. These are the people we should be putting time into. Always share her link, support those who support. That's the blueprint. It's us who has to help us. We can't look for the establishment to help us. Because, like I said, this system is functioning fine. It's not here for us to benefit from. If that's the case, they wouldn't make money. It's here to benefit them. And we just participate in it. Like I said, financial literacy. Why would they teach that in school? Fair use, YouTube. Why would they teach financial literacy in school when our dollar is backed by debt? They want you to be in debt. That's how they can print more money. Money ain't backed by gold or silver no more. It's literally on the back of your dollar. This is a debt note. So if Americans ain't in debt, they can't print money. So why would they teach you how to be responsible with finances? They want you to go to school, get in debt, get credit cards, put things on credit. That's what they want. They want you to get that 30-year mortgage. They're not going to teach you how to, they ain't going to teach you about interest and how to pay on a principal. Because if they did, you wouldn't be in no 30-year mortgage. You can pay a mortgage off in 15, maybe 10 years if you understood the principal versus the interest. When you first get a mortgage, you got 5 years to pay nothing but principal. You have to pay a couple dollars extra, but all that's going towards the principal. And then when you start paying the interest from a 30-year, that doesn't turn to 10. You can turn a 30-year mortgage into 10 just by understanding how to pay against the principal versus the interest. They ain't gonna teach you that though. They want you to be in debt. They don't teach you when you get a credit card, only spend 30% of the total amount. And that way you don't accrue the interest. They don't teach you that. They want you to max out the card. This is why they don't teach financial literacy, because you won't be in debt. But it's our responsibility to educate one another, to share this information with one another. Even in a system, um, even in a system, is ways to maneuver around it and make it beneficial to you. I found a lot of the ways out. I really did. Um, and that's why I can say I'm comfortable. I'm not rich. I won't even call myself well off, but I don't need for anything. And I don't want anything. Anything I desire or want, I can go get. I'm about to get my about to put a swing set in the backyard for the kids. It's like $2,000. Nothing. I can afford to do that. Not because I'm rich, not because we make a lot of money. It's because I understand finances. I understand budget. You know, um, but it wasn't something I was taught in school. It was something that I seeked out. They didn't teach me this stuff in school, but that don't mean I made an excuse not to know it. I went and found it. Like I said, these systems that we live in, that we under that rule over, we can sit and beg for them to treat us right and to do us right. Even if they give us something, it's gonna be crumbs compared to what they get. Right? So we can do one or two things: either learn them or create our own. The only two options if we want prosperity. The only two options. You know, people like to say, I suffer down here, so I get my reward in heaven. I don't think that's the way God intended it. You know, we can have our heaven here too. Other people are. So why can't we? Why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to go without? Again, I think that's an excuse. Yeah, I'm having my heaven here. I don't care what nobody said. I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna enjoy life. I refuse to have anything less. No, my heaven is here. I'm gonna have my heaven here. And that's a conscious choice I'm making. And to do that, I gotta know and I gotta learn. Miss Showers hitting the link. Appreciate you.
Hey, hello everybody.
Miss April, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Oh, this weather with the rain and oh my God, being cold. Oh my,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
in a bad way. Yeah, but I'm good. I want to say that you young gentlemen, you guys is what the people need. You know,
I
y'all done,
appreciate it.
y'all got a story to tell. We all got a past, but we don't let the past define us. And I like you and Nate, y'all be on here every night talking, and that's great. And yes, we are a positive group, but it's so much information. You know, we better together. And so I like the fact that we got people out here that's teaching about mortgages, just everyday life skills. And like you say, they do not teach the things in school that they used to teach when I was in school. Like we had home economics, we learned how to crochet, cook a little bit, do our nails, but they done took all of that out of the schools. And you were right. They teach you, they give you an education, and that's about it. They really don't prepare people for the real world out there. You know, they make it seem like it's this big fairy tale. You know, go to college, finish high school, go to college. But they didn't tell you you might have some obstacles along the way where you can't finish at that time. And a lot of people have to do what they can do to make it. Times is hard, food is high. But uh, you're so right when you were saying you go to school and they don't teach you anything. Uh, they don't teach. They don't.
They only thing they teach you is how to function in their system.
Yeah.
You know, and that system is backed on debt. They want you to be in debt.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't teach you that you can own your own business. You can get an LLC. Uh, it's all kind of different grants out here that you can get. No, they don't teach you that. They don't teach you that. And that's why I'm glad we have YouTube and people like you, Nate. Where is that? Where 6 7 at? Ain't the house? What?
Seven Kalani. Yeah, man, him. We gonna put something together. It's more me on the procrastination part. But Kalani ready. He ready to drop the info. But we go collaborate and start. Giving. Not on a grand scale, but a functionable scale where people can. I believe I don't believe in starting from like where I'm at. Because it took me time to get here. I believe in starting from the very bottom. People who have average 9 to 5s and show them how they can budget, begin to save, different things they can get into to have uh, an income that help them make their money make money. I believe in starting from there because everyone they don't have a big say. Some people don't even have a savings account, because they live and check to check. And I think starting with those people and building our way up, I think that's more beneficial because it is a wider spectrum of people who we can help. So. Yeah, but that's where we gonna start from. But we definitely gonna put something together and get the information out to the people because, like I said, it's no point of me retaining the information that I had or that I have to help me from other people, who it can help.
And it is our duty. It's our duty to go back and teach people everything that we know. And I'm so sick of my people, my special ed people, I call them. Like, stop thinking when somebody's trying to give you information or tell you how you should invest some money. Stop saying, oh, they all in my business. They trying to tell me what to do. Stop doing that, uh, people. Listen to what people are trying to tell you. No, they're not saying that you're dumb. They just might know a better way and they want to see you grow. But we tend to want to kill the messenger. We get in our funny acting ways and think people trying to be in our business or they trying to tell me what to do and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah.
And it's funny you say that because I'm a life insurance agent, and to do my job properly, I have to do what they call a fact finder, and I have to get in people business, find out their finances, and um, when I deal with my white clients, they give me everything, even stuff I don't even ask for. But when it comes to my black clients, they tell me, well, I don't feel comfortable divulging that. And I'm like, well, I can't help you. And then they catch an attitude, and it's like, I'm trying to help you. I'm not taking this information to say that I'm better than you. I'm doing it to help you. And I think a lot of times, like you said, we get in our own way, from helping one another because we think that somebody is trying to say they better than us instead of understanding these people really trying to help you.
Mhm. Yep. But like I say, we got to get out of that and start appreciating the people that sharing this information. We need to start teaching people to start listening to people. Stop thinking people all they want to be in your business or I don't feel comfortable and all that other kind of stuff. Get out of that. You'll go trust a stranger before you will a relative or somebody that you know because you think like I used to do taxes years ago, and some people they didn't even want me to do their taxes because they didn't want me to know how much money they was making. Like I don't care how much money you making. I'm just trying to prepare taxes and get paid. But yeah, we've got that really bad, really bad, really bad.
And you know what, Miss April, that's why I talk about what I talk about. I mainly talk about the mindset. I can, not toot my own horn, but I can come on here and talk about a lot of different things. But it won't. I don't think it'll set in because to make positive change, the first thing we got to change is the way we think. And a lot of these issues that I talk about, I know firsthand because I had those same issues, and I just give the tools that I use to fix them. And that's why I always invite people up here because maybe the way I did it won't work. I'm not sitting up here saying I'm the Messiah or I know more than everybody. I'm sharing the information. And
Mhm.
I think that's a, a positive way to do it. And like, bring people up and let them share their experiences and things that they use. We build it. And I think that's a more positive way than me coming on here trying to proclaim to be an expert on these things. Because a lot of times when you do that, people get into the mode that you talking about now. Oh, he think he better than us. He think he know more than us. Like, no, I'm just like you. Um,
Mhm. Like I say, these people getting these income tax checks. Lord have mercy. I wish I would have got me a $4 or $5,000 income tax check, and they going out buying $500 hair and all kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, did you put anything up? Did
right.
you save any money for a rainy day? Like, don't spend, and then don't call asking me for nothing, and you done got a $5,000 income tax check and broke. Uh-uh, no. And so that's another thing that should be taught. Every year when they get the income tax check, take $1,000 and get a CD or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get something instead of going to get hair and all of that stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. But put something up, have something to show for it, something. Yeah. But like I say, my people, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Um, but I'm glad that y'all on here talking every night. People are listening. Stay positive. No drama, and you'll be all right. All of y'all will be all right. Don't get the trolls no attention. See, long as you on here doing something positive, the enemy is going to attack. That's their job, is to devour you and spit you out like you ain't nothing because they not nothing. But keep doing what you do. Don't worry about what nobody say. And when people don't want your help, just say, but you go to them other people.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happened a lot. I had a guy when I was doing real estate. I was trying to help him, and it was a black dude that I knew. It was somebody I actually knew, and for 2 months I'm trying to help him get a house, get a loan, and everything. He dropped me and got this white guy, and then he called me and was like, "Can you look at this paperwork?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he already signed it. It was a done deal, but his interest rate was like 3.2% higher." And I told him like it ain't nothing I can do. You already signed all the paperwork. And I told him, I said, why did you go to? Oh, he was more seasoned. And I said, yeah, but he took advantage of you. And now you want me to fix it, but you should have just stayed with me. The reason it took so long because I was trying to find you. That's why it took a little longer. I could have get you the same interest rate, but I knew people and I knew programs that I was trying to put you in, so you wouldn't have to deal with what you're dealing with now. 2 years ago, he lost that house because he couldn't pay for it when the pandemic hit. Um, but I tried. I did my part. Um, but you
I
have to.
I would have told him you went with him, so now you deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't let
Hood,
nobody.
what up?
No, you don't want to look at no paperwork from somebody else. You should have told him no. Mm-mm. You should have told him no, cause you dropped me, and now you want me to look at some paperwork. Oh, but you didn't trust me enough to do the whole process. Now you done went and did the process with somebody else, and you want me to look at the paperwork? You should have gave them papers back to him and said, no, you go back to that guy. Yeah.
And
So,
he tried to go back to the guy, and the guy told him the deal is done. He ain't got nothing else to do with it.
mhm, yeah. So don't be Mr. Fix It cleaning up other people's mistakes because they didn't want to trust you. Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way because, um, like I said, I only got good intentions for people. So I used to always try to fix everybody's problems, and then I realized that I can't do it. Not only can I do it, they problems ain't mine to fix. Especially when I tried to help you, and then you turned your back on me and went with somebody else. That's now not only your problem, but like you said, take it back to the person. And a lot of times they realize that that's when they realize that the other people was in it just for the money.
And see, that's another thing. Us, we be trying to look out for people with the best intentions, and we not trying to get over on you. We just trying to help you. But you'll go to them other people because they about their money. They ain't doing nothing from the heart or just on GP. They doing it strictly for the money. And they're gonna get theirs and they don't care. They don't care. And see, like I like the way y'all be talking about the mortgages and then also people know that just they'll know just because you lost a house don't mean you can't get another house.
Right.
They got all kind of programs where you can get into a program and they help you to get into another house. The government does because my goddaughter she just went through a program and they taught her how to save, how to budget, and everything. And she was able to get a house like 6 weeks after she had lost her first house. So she was able to get another house. People don't understand. Like there's chapter 7 and there's chapter 13. Don't feel bad if you have to file bankruptcy. Like, really? Like, file bankruptcy. Ain't nothing wrong with filing bankruptcy. Because you just wait a year or two after the bankruptcy and you look up in the mail and you got all kind of credit cards.
And that's true. I mean,
Out of
and
that, you done did a chapter 13 or a chapter 7, and after you go file that, here they come with more credit cards to put you in debt all over again.
hmm
Yeah. But it's the little things that I like what you doing, Nate doing, the whole family. I like everything that y'all doing. And believe me, people are listening to you guys. Uh, I appreciate y'all. Y'all are like my heroes. You know, y'all stepping up to the plate, trying to share the information, trying to change the mindset of our people. And for that, I just want to say thank you. Keep on talking. Keep sharing that information. We all we got. Um, Cause it's a doggy world out there.
yes, it is. It's a dog eat dog world, and
It's
I
a-
appreciate that, Miss April. Nate said he appreciate that too. I don't know if you can see the chat, because like I said, it's looking at this app. Like I don't come on here to for the I want to click some views because I want to reach people, but I'm not doing it um, to to be a celebrity or nothing like that. I'm doing it because I actually want to build and help people. I want to share information. Just like I'm giving it, I'm open to receiving it. And it can be discouraging at times, because you see the negative things getting more attention than the positive things. But like I said,
we like drama. We like drama. If I got on my channel cussing everybody out every day, calling them the bees and dog heads and be beefing, oh my God, the chat would be full. We are drama people. We like drama. And,
yeah, until the drama becomes us, until we become involved, and then people, yeah, I feel that we do. We watch it on TV, um, we watch it in movies, we listen to it. We come on here for it. But
did they arrest Donald Trump?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. But I was even looking at that. I was like, I don't know. Like, people might get mad. I liked it, Donald Trump, and it's not for the reasons people think. I just, when he was president, I've never watched CNN that much in my life. He was just always doing or saying something,
You
and it
know
was,
what? I like Donald Trump too. Donald Trump, he didn't do nothing. He didn't hurt, nor did he help us.
no,
So for that, um, we can be thankful for that.
yeah,
Uh, Instead of putting people in office that's been sent black men to prison, and like it's just so crazy. I didn't give a darn how ignorant Donald Trump was or whatever he said. Hey, that was his right. He didn't pass no laws to lock up black people, black men, um, 3 times you out, and all that other kind of stuff. Matter of fact, he was actually trying to help black people.
I think he was too. I mean, you from what he
Yeah, he was
did,
trying to help him, but people didn't want to fool with him because he was Donald Trump. That's like Chicago. He wanted to send. He said, "I'll send the FBI, the SWAT, anything to get Chicago under control with the violence and stuff." And Lori Lightfoot didn't want his help, the former mayor of Chicago. But Donald Trump did want to clean up the community. He did have Kanye West. He had Larry Hoover's grandson up there in the White House, and he was really trying to work on helping the community. But we want to talk about Kanye because he was in the White House, but he was doing prison reform.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody want to say, "Oh, he crazy. He just see that." Man, miss me. All of us uh, got all all of us. Our elevators. All of us got like. Let me see how am I trying to say this.
Oh no, you can say it because I know I'm crazy.
All of us got views we got something.
Yeah.
Ain't none of us perfect. hmm But he was really trying to help. But like I say, you can't tell our people anything. They want to forgive Joe Biden. Oh, y'all forgiving Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but they look at their records and what they did to black people and black men especially. But y'all want to forgive him, and but then don't forgive a family member.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, you're right. I couldn't morally. My morals wouldn't allow me to vote for Joe Biden. I couldn't do it. Just because of the information I knew. Like a lot of people, like I said, we don't research enough. And then when somebody tell us something, we don't want to listen. But I couldn't, with my
well,
morals, I couldn't vote for Biden.
they wanted him out of office so bad, so bad. But I hope he runs again. I really do. But because Joe Biden done showed us I don't give a darn about you putting a black woman as the press secretary. That don't mean nothing to me. Nigga, where the money at for
Right.
the hood? He thinks when he do that, and that's what I'm saying. We accept this mess. Ain't nobody calling Joe Biden out on his mess. Like, really? What has he done for the communities? Uh, is there anything going on where he's trying to fix up the hoods and put some recreational centers, uh, coming up with a plan? And then another thing I don't like about Joe Biden is he didn't even want to talk to Ice Cube. When Ice Cube had the package laid up,
Mm-hmm.
the black plan, he gonna tell Ice Cube wait till after the election. Donald Trump listened to him, and but check this out. But he talked to Cardi B. You know, like these people play us right in our faces, and we do nothing. We don't say anything. And
Complacency.
huh?
We too complacent.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't want to hold him accountable for what he hasn't done, but don't. Well, that's a whole nother story. But my people have got to change their mindset, and I pray that they do because we could be so much further ahead.
Hmm. Just tell everybody you know to come listen to me. I'm gonna help change that mindset. I'm gonna change the way we think if they allow me to. They allow some of the words that I say to seep in to their subconscious. Um, It'll change the way they think.
I don't
If I
know.
if I
My
did
people,
if I did, I think anybody can because I was screwed up. I was so programmed, man.
again, all of us, uh, got something we done dealt with, and it's okay. You know, your mistakes, that's the past. We ain't thinking about the past. We thinking about the future,
Hmm.
and the future for Black America is very terrible. What our people rather do, they won't even speak up now about all of this stuff going on with kids want to change their gender, different things like that. How dare the NAACP give an award to Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade? I'm so sick of them using our people to promote foolishness and things that I can't even imagine if my grandmother was living. Seeing this type of stuff, she would be like, is this really real? Like, they use us to further their agenda.
Hmm.
'Cause, oh man, it's a whole lot. So I wrote the NAACP. I sent them an email. I'm waiting on them to respond because I don't want nobody winning no award that's promoting what they're promoting. So
And you know the sad part about that? That could have went to that 18-year-old mayor, that 18-year-old boy. I forgot what city
yeah,
that was in.
that's what
It,
I'm saying. All kind of stuff.
hmm.
But I wrote them a letter. See, we talk the talk, but we ain't being about it. You know, I wrote letters to them. I well didn't write letters. I sent them two emails because I was living. I said our people are out here doing some great things, but this is what y'all choose to focus on. Like this is the NAACP. I'm just still in awe that they gave them this award. Like I cannot believe what I'm watching right now. You know, it's crazy. But our people, you know, will be the face of anything.
Hmm.
We don't care. We don't even know how to say no, or you gonna dance to my music if I decide that I'm gonna work with somebody. But yeah, the state of Black America, I get saddened sometimes because we are so messed up as a people that we can't even see what's going on. And they're not even hiding it anymore. They throwing it right in our faces. Everything they do that's wrong. And nobody speaks out. Nobody says anything. Nobody does anything. So
Miss Bow, how are you? Appreciate you, Miss B.
you
Make
were
it go
talk,
viral in the house.
you were talking about school and the
Mm-hmm.
teachers. the way the school system is set up and the way they had these teachers programmed now, that a lot of them really can't teach the way they want to teach.
And that's facts. They can't. There's a lot of teachers who actually want to teach things that can that prepare the youth to be functionable uh, people in society, but they can't teach it. They're given a curriculum to teach, you know. And when you do that, when you look at the
I mean, like everything is supposed to be going great with my people, but it's not because we don't stand up for anything. We won't stand up. You were talking about the school. Do you know that they have books in the classrooms now promoting the alphabet people?
yeah, my
Then,
sister.
hmm?
No, I said my sister was telling me about that. She do consultant work for schools, and she went to one school and was looking at the books. Was like, wow, you know, I don't think that should be taught to kids. That's something not in school. If anything, that's the parents' responsibility to teach them about that and let them be kids. They don't need to learn about that now. Um, even even I know people who uh, I got a cousin who she's very outspoken about messing with the kids, like teaching the kids that, and she's a lesbian, but she don't push it on nobody. That's her way of life, and she don't believe that kids should be learning about that. She always say kids should be kids. Like she got hate from other people who weren't even gay, on Facebook because she very outspoken about it, about teaching kids about sexuality, and she got hate from people who wasn't even gay or didn't claim to be gay. Um, so that's what I'm saying. Is people just find reasons to hate, even if it ain't got nothing to do with them. That's just how society is.
I have nothing against them. I have nothing against them, against the alphabet people. But I'm not gonna be out here promoting nothing
Mm,
that y'all do. I mean, because anytime kids go to school and they have books talking about two women or two men and different things like that, like this is crazy that these books are even allowed in the schools, like even in the library. And this is what I say, people need to go to PTA meetings, school
mhm.
board meetings, and find out what's going on because these type of things they have to be voted on. And so that's why I say we have to be so active. Um, we got to go to. It's so many things that we have to do uh, to know what's going on with the school, with the world. But we don't want to do it. We don't
Well,
want to.
but that's the thing too. We have to start because the problem is gonna get worse and worse. I mean, that's why is where it is now because We've been turning a blind eye, and like you said, we have to speak up. And that's why I talk about, like, when I talk about these problems, even with the school. I mean, I don't see the purpose of talking about it without looking for a solution. And I believe one of the solutions are we create our own. It's people out here who have created. Is a what is his name? I'm gonna find his name, but he started a school and he got a bus where he pick up kids. Dr. Umar been talking about it for years, but it's already people doing it. Everybody
Mhm.
look at Umar and waiting for Umar, but it's people doing it already. It's people who have done it already. So it's there. People homeschool their kids, um, and that's another way. That's another solution, another tool. People say, "Oh, I can't do it." Again, that's why I've made this live. That's an excuse to me. You got to find a way. If you got to link up with other parents, uh, there's so many retired school teachers out here. I'm pretty sure if you give them they probably won't take that much, but and then that's that's helping those retirees keep busy too. So you see, we can help one another because I know um, retired school teachers that want to continue teaching. Some of them was pushed out, um, and they want to do it. That's what they love. That's what they passion is. And so why not give these people the opportunity? And like I said, by doing that, you can control what your kid learns. We need to know financial literacy, especially in the black community. We need to learn. And like I was talking to my wife earlier, I said I'm teaching our son about finances. Well, he don't need that until he in high school. I said no, he gonna learn that before he 10. Like no, because when he 11 and 12, I want him to put a stand together and go outside and sell something. If it's lemonade, if it's some craft he made, I want him to have an entrepreneur mindset at a very young age. So when he get 18, 20, yeah, he ain't looking for no job. He creating jobs. I want that to be his mindset. I want that to be my daughter's mindset. That's the path that I got a friend. Her daughter is 12 right now. Um, she what is that bedazzled? Um, that's what she do. She take she go to the thrift store, buy belts and um, like little different accessory garments, and she bedazzle them and sell them. She 12 years old. Her mom was like her savings account is almost looking like mine, and her mom a nurse, but she got that mindset at 12 years old. So imagine when she turned 18, 20, she's not gonna be looking for a job. She gonna be creating jobs.
Mm-hmm. And see, when I was coming out, it was just taught you graduate from high school, and then you should go to college, and then you'll get a job. Uh, they didn't teach like you can own your own business. They didn't teach that in school. Not in my time. It was find a good job, uh, getting a pension plans and different things. But they don't even have pensions anymore. But y'all keep on talking, and hopefully the message. I know people are listening to you guys because they've come back and told me how much they appreciate you guys. And so just keep doing what you doing. You, Nate, Papa, everybody else, because trust and believe you're talking and people are listening. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Stay positive. Please do that.
I will. I got people who will keep me humble. I got people on here and off here who keep me humble, who keep me
Where do you
motivated.
live? The
I
word.
I stay in Michigan. I stay in the suburbs of Detroit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Detroit. Boy, I tell you. car industry really ruined Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, oh my God, it's like it's got a dark cloud over it or something.
It do.
Hmm.
And you know what? I went back in my old neighborhood trying to help and build it up. I got with these people, and we had a plan to, buy homes, fix them up, and put people in programs where they can uh, rent to own. Or I don't like rent to own programs, but it was more of a land contract. Instead of paying rent, that money was going towards the mortgage. And once they get to a certain portion, they take over the mortgage. And as we was going in trying to fix the houses up, people in the neighborhood was breaking into it, taking the materials. And I'm looking at the people like, we trying to help y'all. We need help too, though. You know, I'm not asking you to be Superman. Gave them my number. Call me if you see something. Call the police. We ain't snitching. So we ditched the program. And now when we go back in the neighborhood, they like, oh, I thought y'all was we couldn't do it. Y'all wouldn't help us. We can't just keep taking losses. These businessmen, they wanted to help, but um, that's the thing. It's like you don't. It takes more than just one of us. It takes more than just two of us. Like you said, we need to come together and build. Um, but that's the hard part. So I stopped trying to go into the hood to do it. So I can't. I brought it up to the suburbs. So
Yeah. And like I say, some people, they have the mindset like just don't knock the system. You know, they want to speak up. So,
make it
any,
go viral. Where you at? You in Chicago?
oh, hey, make it go viral. Yeah, I live in Joliet, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Yeah.
I
Well,
see. I like
allowing,
Chicago.
yeah, thanks for allowing me to come up and speak.
Oh,
And
Miss April. Anytime, anytime. I appreciate you coming up.
okay, thank you.
Anytime that link is dropped, you're more than welcome to hit it. Like I said, that's all. Any subject I'm talking about, anybody is more than welcome to hit the link. Ohio. Oh, my mom in Ohio right now. She in Dayton. I will actually, hopefully, if everything go right, um, I got a relative being inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, so I should be in Canton. Um, I think it's the fourth, fifth, and sixth. So I'll be in Canton then. But yeah, I love Ohio. I almost moved to Ohio. Y'all got a lot of good wineries. I'm a wine connoisseur. Well, I used to be. I don't even drink no more. But we used to Toledo. I did. My mom just did a assignment in Toledo. So yeah, we go to the Toledo Zoo all the time. I enjoy Ohio. When what was that? But yeah, Ohio. I don't know how it is now, but that one governor who was running for president, I was listening to him, seeing everything he was doing in Ohio. That's what almost made me move to Ohio. But yeah, I like Ohio. But yeah, always appreciate Miss April. Always when the elder comes speak, I listen because there's so much wisdom through experiences that they have and understanding they gained over the years. And like I said, we need to. Oh, what did I do? Hold on, Kalani. Here I come. The man, the myth, the legend, the financial guru. What up, Mr. Kalani? Seven is in the house.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Always, brother. You know you got a spot. You always got a spot on this show, bro.
I was really encouraged by Miss April, and I wanted to jump up here and give her a shout out, man, for laying out some of the things that we need in our community. Hopefully, you and me will take that as energy, word, you know what I'm saying, and pursue what we're doing. But you take your time, brother. You know what I mean? I'm in no rush for this, but I definitely feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had in America. And she pretty much laid it out. I was very, very impressed, very, very appreciative of Miss April.
Always appreciative, Miss April. Um, but like I said, just the wisdom and the, you know what, I appreciate her honesty too, um, because a lot of older people don't feel they can learn from older people. And she open. Not only is she open, she listens. You know, um, and that's humbling because you don't really get that too much. Um, so yeah, I always appreciate Miss April. Y'all make sure y'all check out Miss April too, cause she keep it real, she keep it funky, and she get you laughing. She had me over there laughing one day. She was talking about they was talking about BBLs, right? And she was like, "Well, I'm gonna sell my fat. If they want a BBL, they can buy my fat." Man, she had me over there rolling. I had Kool-Aid coming out my nose and everything. But let me ask you this, brother, because like I said, the man with the plan. Um, I just feel like financial literacy should be taught in school. I think it should be taught in grade school. Maybe fourth, fifth grade, you should start. Uh, I think kids are able to comprehend concepts there, and like I said, just feed them small things just to make them aware. Um, but I think that's one thing that's always been missing, and I know why. It's like I said, your dollars say debt note for a reason, um, and that's how you print the money. You know, the more debt, the higher they can raise the ceiling. But I think it's important, especially uh, for like, I'm not gonna say impoverished, but for low income people to understand the importance of finance and budgeting.
Well, my take on it is a little different. I think it should be mandated that homeschooling in each grade should be added as a curriculum, like homeschooling. And even in the public school, I like for that to be legislated law. Homeschooling is an accredited curriculum where you get graded on your homeschool lessons as well as your public lessons, which I'm good with that. But because then I can teach finance, you know what I'm saying, calculus, things like that, science, my heritage, my lineage, my generation, to my kids, and they get accredited for it along with the ABCs and one, two, threes. And
I
I can
think
teach them how to balance, and I can teach them how to balance the checkbook. I can really, as they're going, if that is a law to where homeschooling can be an accredited towards your diploma and your degree and things of that nature through all curriculums, I'm with that.
I feel that. And see, that's why I like having these conversations because everybody got insight um, through their own personal experiences, and I think that's important. Because I didn't look at it like that, but that's dope. I think that I would concur with that. Um, I don't know how to work, but you do, so that's why we got you up here.
I mean, because you're going to get pushback, obviously, from the teachers and things of that nature. But I'm down with the curriculum. Keep on going, but don't add to it. Or if you do add to it in the public curriculum, okay, cool. There ain't nothing we could do when you add stuff. But if you give each child in America the opportunity to get a credits, the same credits in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, with homeschooling as one of those things, okay, yeah, I'm with that, because then I can teach my child exactly what I want them to understand moving forward. And I think they'll be ready for the next grade, as they, complete the first and second, third, fourth, fifth grade. They'll be ready for everything else, because we'll be able to show them specifically, about our country, about how our family and what we think about our country, our religion, our whatever, and all of that counts in public education, along with public education. Because I'm down with how we learn the one ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I'm down with the basics, you know what I'm saying? But it's that other stuff with
Yeah.
no way to counter it. And I think that giving credits, you know what I'm saying, from homeschooling, each grade is hey, that's our way of being able to input education without changing everything.
Facts. What up, bro? Appreciate you coming through. But that's all facts, bro. Because like I said, at the end of the
Damn,
day,
true, true, my bad, my bad.
because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to teach our kids, no matter if they go to a public school or not, especially about things they're gonna need to be prosperous and successful in life. And that's what I told my wife. Like, I'm teaching my son finances. I'm teaching my son um, gardening. I'm teaching my son self defense. I think finances, self defense, especially for a boy, I think all males should go through some form of, I won't even say martial arts, but some form of self defense, because that's part of being a man, is being able to protect. And I think that's why a lot of these young men now, they pick up guns because they don't know how to protect themselves. But that's a necessity. Finances, you need money to function. So finances, you need food to sustain yourself, and you need to understand how to protect yourself. Um, that's three things I'm good at. I can feed myself. You can drop me anywhere. I can hunt. I can grow if I need to grow, um, and I can protect myself. I mean, I think um, especially like I said, being a man, those are two things. But the finances, that's for everybody. I think men and women need to understand finances, because not only do they not teach you, but almost everything they teach you goes against good finance literacy. Getting these credit cards. You don't even understand the credit cards. People don't understand the interest rates, signing loans or mortgages. They don't understand the difference between the principal and the interest. So you put yourself in a bad situation, especially young starting off, if you don't have the understanding or the knowledge. You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I think that concept will work good from a homeschool. I want to make homeschooling a big thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It started during the pandemic, and I think it's really good for American education. Uh, there was a lot of sacrifices that had to be made during that time, for I ain't gonna go into
But but like
we
I
went through
but
a lot of shit.
but think about this too. Like I
And we
said,
had
I
to
mean,
adjust rather fucking quickly. So
but like
I'm
I
trying
said
to
too,
learn.
think about it like this too, though. Okay, um, there's a lot of retired school teachers out there who are just sitting at home. So that's a tool or a resource people should look into. You know, and then it's just people who have the time. I might not have the time. My wife might not have the time, but have I active? Have I been active looking for people who do? Or am I just making an excuse for it because I don't have the time?
That would really be a great voluntary occupation for our senior citizens with the youth.
I wouldn't even say voluntary. I mean, we spend hundreds of dollars on phone bills. Compensate
Oh
them
yeah,
something.
oh
You
yeah.
know,
Like a
we can
teacher's
afford.
aid, like bring it back to teacher's aid in a way.
Yeah, compensate them. I mean, we spend money on all this other BS, designer clothes and stuff like that. Why not spend money on your child's education? Like you said is a quote from Biden. You show me your budget, I show you what you care about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you can
saying?
tell me
So
all day what you value, but if you allow me to take a look at your budget, I will show you what you value. You feel me? I get that. I mean, I was
right.
like, damn, Joe.
And see, that's what I tell people all the time. Like you spending all this money on the cell phone bill, but you ain't willing to spend money on life insurance. Like when I used to do people's fact finder, that's just basically going through the finances, looking at um, their income versus their expenses and determining how much they can afford. But by doing that, I was able to show them, like, look, you spending too much on this, you spending too much on that. A lot of times people try to keep up with the Joneses. People want the newest this, the newest that, whatever is flashy. Man, I don't care about all that. I like people don't even understand what a trust is. I don't put nothing in my name. Things go into the trust, and it's
And it's
for a
and
reason.
and I want to emphasize word. I want to emphasize the word. I want to like, man, that's unfortunate for those
Yeah,
people that don't. It's sad. It's not something to be mad about. It's just sad.
it's
It's
sad.
unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because we're we're missing many opportunities that are available with more education. With more
Mhm.
education, we won't have all of these different problems and stuff like that.
Juju, tell hubby I said what up, though.
Tell hubby I said what's happening. We
But see, I
burning.
think, but I
Get your
thought I
hoodies.
get.
Get your hoodies from me. Get your hoodies from me, and get your get your beats from Lovey.
Get that plug in, brother. Get that plug in. But yeah, I think I wanna talk about that one day too. Trust, so people can get a better understanding of how they can benefit and how they can protect themselves by putting things in a trust, and how that helps generational wealth. You know,
And I hope that we also explain to them, like, giving step by step instructions just in case, because, trauma, is really something hard to deal with in an organized way. You feel me? So, like, when
hmm
you're making these trusts and you're saying that you want your capital to go this way, that way, you want to divide it into these dividends. I want only this percentage going into it, like, you got to write that out word for word, because first of all, you're gone. People are going to, it's going to be years before they're able to overcome, the loss of you. And anything that you want them to do, you got to be specific and organized
hmm
in your trust.
yeah. And see, because I got some properties, and uh, with that, my kids will be all right. They ain't gonna be worried about too much. But I got other resources and other things allocated in a way where when they turn a certain age, they have access to certain things,
That's
and I
what's
think
up.
that's important.
That's what's up.
Because it's teaching discipline and giving them structure too. Um, but that's how we set generational wealth up. I can't just give them the bag when they're young, and then they blow it, and then I'm not here to soften that blow. So
Yeah,
um,
exactly, man. Like a lot of times, and it goes back to what we're speaking on as far as like organization. Like people, money come and go, but what you do with it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it comes and goes if you know what to do with it when you have it. And that's what
right.
our youth, our generation, our people don't realize. You know what I'm saying? Like there are ebbs and flows of capital with every human being. There are times when you got a bunch of money and times when you don't. But what you did with what you what you did with the money you had, that is valuable.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, like you said, education too. Um, like most people, I forget who. I was on in somebody else's channel, and I can't remember who, but they were talking about. Oh, I was in Marlene's channel, and they were talking about how like Nike will have a factory, right, building a shoe, and some other no-name company was also getting shoes built in that same factory. The only difference is the actual name, not the material, but the actual name that was on the shoe.
I'm good with that because then it goes to competition. I mean, if I got a closer factory, you know, it's going to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Nike over here, Kalani Management shoes right there. Fine, great, same material. It's on me to market the value of that because they sure are.
Right, but we get it twisted because we chase too many names. People want the name, and ain't nothing wrong with name brand things, but um, it's not important. What's important is uh, we got clothes on our back.
Hey
That's
man,
the
I'm telling
important
you,
thing.
I want to get in the water, homie. So I feel you on what. Hey, what's important is the water. So I'm trying to get in the water, like in
Right.
a major way. So it's like I totally understand where you're coming from.
Like if I can get the shoes to get the same material and save $50 and put that $50 into an investment, that's more smarter than me. You know what my mom did one day? I told her I
Especially if
wanted to
it's
put
minerals or natural things like gold, silver, water, salt, almonds. You know what I mean? Things like that.
my mom. She told me one day. She said we gonna go out and get some shoes. I'm like, okay, I want some Jordans. So she took me to Foot Locker and we was looking at these Jordans, right? And it was like 150. And she said you can get these or you can get three pair of these Nikes. So I got the three pair of Nikes, you know. Um, so I think that was an important lesson she taught me when I was younger, because I mean I could have spent 150 on one pair of shoes, but I ended up getting three. So now I got three different pair of shoes versus one.
Mhm.
I don't think we think like that no more. We get wrapped up in it. Like me personally, I rather wear my name than someone else's. So you give me the opportunity to put my name on a shirt and wear that versus wearing what is it, Balenciaga or Gucci or Louis Vuitton. I'm a rock myself. That's just my mindset though. Like, why should I promote someone else when I can promote myself? Why should I style and profile on somebody else when I can do it for myself? I think we need to think more like that.
Man, I think you could be teaching your kid that at home while they're going through first grade, second grade, third grade, to the sixth, and get credit for that, for learning just that
Bro, look. So me
through
and my
every
best friend.
grade. They understand.
Now check this out. Me and I had my son in December. My best friend had his son in February, right? He bought his son some Jordans, so he in the backyard playing in his Jordan, and my son got some baby shark shoes, right? And they light up. So they were showing me the shoes, like, oh, that's dope. And I told my son, I said, show him your shoes. So he running the shoes lighting up. His son start looking at his shoes like I want them. Kids don't know that, bro. They see he knows Baby Shark and the shoes lighting up. His son wants those. You just paid $70 for some shoes he will wear for a couple weeks because he's still growing. Versus my son got some Baby Shark, some Batman. I let him pick out his own shoes. Which ones you want? You want those? You want those? And they don't cost that much. And guess what? He's growing. He's gonna tear them up anyway. He go step in mud and dirt and all that stuff, man. I ain't about to put no Jordans on his feet. Why? When he can have baby sharks. That's what he know. He don't know who Jordan is. It's just the mindset. Do I want my son to look good? Yeah, he look good anyway. He ain't got to have no polo and none of that stuff. Man, that stuff, all that name, all this stuff is a distraction and a delusion. We don't understand. I like material. I wear a shit ton of Under Armour, right? Because I like the material and like I work out and stuff a lot. So, and wearing that, I like the material, and I don't pay an arm and leg. I got an outlet I go to. I go take $200 and I got 7, 8 pair shirts, like 10 pair of pants. I shop at an outlet. I mean, you will roast me from what I'm wearing. Have fun. I don't
There you
care.
go. That was, man.
It's covered. My body
Pop,
covered. That's what it's for.
Pop Pop broke me of a lot of habits in 1999 until right now. One of them is I want to rock my own. You know what I'm saying? I take that $200 to go make Kalani gear, the Y2K show gear, Y2K hats, and that's what I'm
Right.
wearing all the time. You feel me?
I, if
I
I'm
don't
gonna
care what
promote
nobody
something,
feel. You know what I'm saying?
if I promote something, it's gonna be myself. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man.
wear
I
what I'm
promote our
comfortable with.
brand.
You know, I don't care for all that, and I don't really, I don't know how we got wrapped up in that, but we did. We did. And we don't really wear black designers. It's not the black designers we wear. So that's not even our stuff that we
I'm
wear.
down with people wearing their own creations. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
think
I'm definitely down
that's
with that.
very creative. You know what I'm saying? Like all people, like you should rock your own creations, your own clothes. You make your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah,
you grow your own food, you make your own
yeah.
clothes. You rock your own
Then,
brand. You know what I mean?
and it is nothing to complain about,
Right.
especially like when you talk about the food. Like you ain't got to complain about pesticides and none of that stuff if you got your own.
Yep.
I'm a firm believer in being self sufficient. If I can
Absolutely.
if I can live off the grid, y'all wouldn't be seeing me.
And
I'm
you'd be
telling you,
more peaceful, man. You probably read more books. You know what I'm saying? You probably
man.
appreciate nature more. You probably go hiking and just have meditation time. You know what I mean, and all that type of stuff, man. If you live like that, but a lot of people can't do it, man.
That's because they don't know how. It wasn't taught to them. Like I said, basic survival skills. That you need to know that you can't depend on people. You can't depend on technology all the time. Is like I said, a lot of it has made us complacent. Instead of using the technology to benefit us, we use it to make ourselves lazy. Like what you were saying when you were saying use technology for budgeting and that, I'm all with that. I'm all with that. But when we use it to Google Word, I mean to
I just remember my parents, my grandparents, and tax time. They'd have all these. I just remember seeing it like it was yesterday. They'd have all these papers and receipts and all of these things out, man, and it looked so stressful on them every year. They looked so stressful. It was a time where we didn't bother them. We just went around them. You know what I'm saying? Like didn't talk to them or nothing. When I seen all them papers and boxes and every year. But now, you don't have to do all that at all.
no, you don't. And
Our
see, that's
our
what I'm saying.
children's children won't remember what it was like with our grandparents when they had to, every year, like, all right, man, daddy busy, dad and mom is busy, so
I got
don't
a
be
house
messing with them,
phone,
don't be making no loud noises around this
right?
motherfucker.
I got a house phone, and my wife's cousin came over with her kids, and they was like, "What is that?" They didn't know what a house phone was, bro. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if I had a rotary
Hey,
phone.
I
They'd be
told my
like,
kids,
"Oh,
I showed my kids a rotary phone. They was like,
yeah."
really? For real? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah.
Like just show them an old Nokia phone with the game Snakes on it. Oh man, that was my game, bro. I used to like Snakes on the Nokia phone. They don't even know what that is, man. Like I said, like
I
technology
like to
can.
see those little Panasonic black and whites in the thrift stores. You know what I'm saying? When I roll it
Mhm.
out, and that always gives me a kick, man, just to see them like black and white TVs, bro. Them little ones, like damn.
It was a trip listening to my grandma talking about. She used to tell me stories how she used to have to go down to the market and use the telegraph machine because they didn't have phones. You know, they
Wow,
used to
that's
on
deep.
telegraph, and I'm like, whoa, like what? And she
That's
telling me
deep.
about
That's
it,
back in the day.
and then I went into a antique store and I seen one, and I wanted to buy it, but they wanted like 1,200 for it. I'm like, hold on, I can't even. Nah, I ain't paying 1,200 for no display. No, I'm straight. But they wanted 1,200 for that boy. I was like, um, I want one of them just because I still get a typewriter, bro, with the ribbons and everything, with the ink ribbons, and I still got one of those.
Hey, you want
Uh,
to hear something? You want to hear a fun fact?
hmm
When I was going to school, I'm old. I'm old, y'all. When I was going to school, my teachers could smoke, right? And she used to smoke these long Virginia Slim cigarettes. I mean, like long Eve type cigarettes, right? And man, when she was teaching me how to type, she would just, she would just constantly, she said, just look at me smoking this cigarette instead of looking at the typewriter.
That's bro. You know,
And that's how I learned how to type, bro, because I was looking at this lady smoking this long ass cigarette.
you know what's crazy? Like when I was working in the OR, the doctors was telling me like, yeah, I remember when we used to do surgery and smoke cigarettes. Like, what? Y'all used to do surgery and smoke at the same? Like, that's crazy, bro. I remember when they smoked on airplanes, bro.
Man, I remember
When I
when they
first
had
got flying.
ashtrays in McDonald's, bro. I'm old.
Yeah.
They had ashtrays in McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and Burger King.
Yeah, times has changed, man. Times have definitely changed. But yeah, we definitely go link up. I want to do something probably towards either the end of April or the beginning of May. I think that'll give us time because everything I do is freestyle. But talking about financial literacy, we gotta have um, structure to it. We gotta actually have. Um, so I think that'll give us time enough to talk. But I think that's dope. You're willing to collab with me and bring the information to the people. Only I don't care if we got 5 or 10 people in here. I think that's dope, and that's our way of doing our duty. Like Miss April said, if we got the information, it kind of it is our duty. It ain't kind of it's our duty to share that
And on
to
top
the
of what
people.
she said that people are listening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, bro. I be looking at my sub count sometimes, and I go in people chats and. Um, just the love they give me, I'd be like, dang, I didn't even know they knew who I was. But I appreciate that, and it's humbling too, knowing that people are taking the time out to listen. Because, like I said, I'm not coming with the beef or the drama. Um, so that's humbling because I didn't think many people would. But like I said, it's not about reaching everybody; it's reaching the right people. I don't really care about talking to thousands of people if they're not listening. I'd rather talk to three, as long as they listen.
I'm with that too, man. I'm like that. I used to worry about like sub counts and member counts, but I absolutely love my channel and chat. I mean, I really do, man. Like they're an extension of me. And that
And
on these YouTube streets, my chat, everybody that's blue suiters, man. I got love for them, like for real. And real, I would do whatever I could for any blue suitor in my chat. And that makes you feel differently towards YouTube. Like I love my channel.
and James, I appreciate you saying that the other night when you said I'm afraid of being uh, famous because the last 2 nights I done found more reasons why I have that reluctancy is because with the way the chat is now, I'm able to interact and see. I kind of don't want the chat. I know it sounds
To
crazy,
grow,
bro.
you don't want it to
Yeah,
grow.
'cause I don't
But you know
want to. I
what?
mean,
Let me tell you how. And I did a show on this, man. If you catch my replay, like great moderators, man, they can they can really like I love my channel. I love my chat. I have expectations that my mods know, you know what I'm saying? And it feels good to understand that, bro. Like without saying it, like every day. You know, I don't have to say every day, please come in here and be respectful. Don't talk about nobody. Let's chill, chat, promote, and support each other. I don't have to say that. And my mods know this, you know what I'm saying? So when new people come in and they're trying to possibly change the narrative, your great blue suiters should be able to kind of steer it away before you have to, because you're live, you're broadcasting, you're giving out the information. So, you know, you should be able to concentrate just on that in your panel.
And that's why I appreciate Juju so much. And anybody listening that's live or on a playback, yeah, you see Juju in there, this is her chat. So you piss her off, you go bye bye. But no,
I mean,
but
because when it's you and your chat, that's what I'm learning, man. It's like when it's you and your chat, man, you can't. I mean, your channel is unstoppable at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's in tune, everybody's in line with you. Word, everybody's in line with you. Everybody wants the best for you. Here, that's what's up. Or
and I
that's what
do.
that should be the attitude, or at least, you know.
And see, like I think everybody in the chat right now got a stick. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all y'all. You know, coming out rocking with me, holding me down. I mean, it's priceless because you know, just to be honest, is a lot of times I miss things in the chat. Um,
But our chat don't miss nothing.
right.
That's what I learned
You
about
know.
my channel. My chat don't miss nothing.
You know, James, Realist, Juju. But yeah, it's Juju chat. It's Juju chat. Um, that's how much faith and trust I got in Juju, because she hold me down. And like I said, she don't have to do it. Her channel is bigger than mine, um, and she do it out of love, and it's genuine, and that you can't buy. So I
I agree.
appreciate Juju so much. You can't buy that, man.
So do I.
Just in life in general, and
Fam.
her husband, man,
Fam. Right?
both of them, both of them, just her husband. Uh, I'm not gonna use the term allowing, but he
She
he
brought that. She
he
brought that whole fam vibe to the whole, collective. In my opinion, like
yeah,
that
yeah,
fam,
yeah.
fam.
And I can't forget Perp. I gotta shout out Perp. I know she
Always,
probably
always.
laying down. She doing her thing from Australia, but yeah, I mean I appreciate all y'all, but it's just the time that you know Juju and her husband, because he might not be right here typing, but he listen, and that's big bro, man. I appreciate them, and like everything happened for a reason, and me, us encountering one another, I just believe is divine, because like I said, just the information that they kicked and the love that they kicked out. To me, all y'all, it's crazy how I came on here and I didn't know nobody. I was just chilling, watching, and then I ended up meeting everybody just by the divine design. We're supposed to run into each other. Realists, y'all like the little thing. Realists probably don't even know, but I listen to everything realists say because even though he jokes sometimes, his name is real for a reason because he keep it real, and he I can honestly say he opened my eyes to a lot of things that I was naive about. Um, and he gave me an understanding on how to not get caught up in a lot of the stuff that happened on here. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would have got caught up because I didn't know. I didn't know how the things work. I didn't know how things go. So that's why I say I listen to everybody. I might joke with y'all and y'all might
Yeah.
not think I'm listening, but I am an information whore. I am literally hanging on every word you say. When you type it in, I look at it. A lot of times I go back and look at the live chat because I didn't, I can't see a lot of stuff. So I go back through the live chat and look at everything people were saying throughout the video.
You
And
making a difference, word. You making a difference. You definitely making a difference, man. And kudos to you. flowers, bro. This is you in your lane.
And that's humbling, bro. Y'all keep me humble too, and cause y'all allow me to be me, man. And that's not normal. It's rare, you know. Because like even what Rilla said, the wrong ones have the larger audience, you know. And it is, to me, is always, life has always been about quality and not quantity. I don't really care about having hundreds of people in here who come in here for the mess, because I'm not about that. In real life, I don't have drama, swirling around me in real life. I don't
Good.
do drama.
See,
Like
that's
I
why
don't.
I like, man, I'm telling you, bro, that's why I like Lamborghinis and Bugattis and Phantoms and Vectors and things like that, because there ain't no commercials for them. You got to find them, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
got to
Like
find
I don't do it, bro. I don't do drama. I don't. It's not beneficial to me. I I don't know if it's because, and it probably is because of my life experiences. I just understand how precious time is, and I'm not wasting it on things that don't benefit me. I'm just not doing it. And that's a choice that we all have, I just don't know if people are aware of it. So that's why, certain things I say it the way I say it, because I can't tell you how to live. I can only show you is another way, or is another way to do things. And like I said, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying to change people's hearts.
What's
Um,
up, CC? Good morning.
CC, what up, though? CC in here? I don't even see CC. Oh, now I do. How you see that before me? It just popped up. Um, but yeah, I'm not trying to change minds. I can't. I ain't gonna say I can't, but I'd rather change the heart, because the way you feel is predicated on the way you is like a precursor on how you think. Uh, so, and you know what? I need to research, because I had somebody tell me, and this was one of my sister's friends that's a psychologist, and she was saying like some of the concepts I use, um, as far as the way the mindset goes, that is not in a book, and I didn't get it from a book. I got it from just my own personal experiences, being aware and observing of myself, noticing different things and different decisions and choices I made, and it was always about how I felt. You know, so I'm gonna look into that, 'cause maybe I
I'm
write a book on
definitely,
that.
I'm definitely doing my due diligence as we prepare to talk finances by connecting with financial minds that wouldn't mind coming up, and talking with us.
Oh, for sure. I'm on. I ran into one dude, Alonzo. I'm gonna see if I can get him over here. He actually a financial advisor, and I'm hoping that he can be, one of my mentors, because I want to go into. I want to go get my class 3 and class 6
Charles
financial.
Payne is my guy. Charles Payne is my guy, and I definitely, would like for him to like come through.
Uh, James, I don't know what I'm on. I'm just looking through StreamYard. I don't know if that's Top Chat or Live Chat. I don't know which one that is. Oh, Juju said Live Chat, James. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I just push live and start talking. I'm, I'm gonna be a good content creator one day. Watch. The more I do it, it's
You
just I
are,
need
man.
time.
You
I
are.
just need time. But it's people like Wolfpack Man. Shout out to Wolfpack Man. I don't know how to change my avatar on here, but yeah, Yak, what up, brother? Wolfpack Man hooked me up, bro. I mean, I always want to support. That's why I said I'm gonna buy one of your hoodies. I'll probably buy a couple because I love hoodies. But
Hey, right on, man. I appreciate that, Kalani, man. Hey, right on, dog.
yeah, bro. You'll see me pop on. Matter of fact, yeah, just hit me up and just let me know. I need at least a 2x, 2 or 3x. Um, preferentially red or black. But yeah, just let me know the price, bro, and I'll get that over to you. Um,
Done and
but
done. Done and
yeah,
done,
yeah, just
player.
let me know, bro. Um, but yeah, Wolfpack Man hooked my avatar up. I gave him. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's the Houthi, which the same avatar here, but he put the Thunderbird over it. And
Nice.
the Thunderbird is the Native American, one of the Native American deities. So it's like I got a representation of my soul and my flesh in one picture, and I thought that was dope. And his art, I mean, I've seen him do other people's stuff, so I was like, yeah. There's a couple other people on here I want to support. Ask them to do different artwork for me, because that's like me buying black, right? I'm supporting. I always root for the little guys because that's who I am.
I
So I
think the
think
next
that's
big
important.
thing, I think one of the next big things to take an interest in is the animated avatar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I've seen people that are able to design and make your avatar to where, it could be moving or something like that. And I like the animation part
I
of
need
an
it.
avatar. You know what I'm saying?
I want an intro too, like the music and the little effects. So
I
I'm gonna
think you're
find the
great
people.
without music based on your content, but it's up to you, man, to make changes. But man, the way you got it right now, with these intellectual conversations, it's the little silence and breaks and the ability for people to comprehend what you're speaking on and things like that. It kind of works. But if you want to add music and all of that, that would be great.
That'd be. I'm just talking about like to
You the
bring the show back.
word, man. You the word.
I appreciate that, man. You,
I just shout you out, bro. You the word. That's it. The
I,
word.
I appreciate that, bro. I mean, y'all keep me. Y'all really do. Y'all don't understand how humbling and how motivating y'all are, bro. I'm only talking about what I know, and I'm only sharing. Like I said, I don't come on here trying to be no professor or nothing like that. I share, you know. Um,
Hey, but if we was on Gilligan's Island, you'd be the professor. You'd be you'd be figuring out you'd be figuring out stuff.
I am, not tooting my own horn. I am a great problem solver. I enjoy problems. I know that sounds crazy, but you give me a problem, I'm gonna figure it out.
That's
I
what's
enjoy
up.
it. It's like,
People pay for that. What do you mean? That's called a consultant.
yeah, and that's what I do consulting work on the side for various things. But I'm like a strategist too. I like to strategize. I like to. I just enjoy all of it. I mean, it's like, that's like my why. Uh, I like to problem solve. Why? Because I like the adversity. Uh, I like the challenge. I guess. I like to be challenged. I do. I
What's
really
up,
enjoy
Callie
it.
King?
Cali King.
What's up, man? I'm with you, Callie, in the house.
That's why. Like every
You
time I
share that
hear,
channel, man.
every time I hear people, have problems, I have to pull back sometimes because it's like, sometimes it ain't my problem to solve, but I still solve it even if I don't offer the answer. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess that's just the way I'm wired.
King's up in this mother. Hey, man, go ahead, Cali King, man. What's happening? Salute to Cali Kings. Y'all sub up. It's right there in the chat.
Yeah, great
Our
people,
king is
man.
on deck.
Mm. But I'm gonna shut it down. Tomorrow, I think I want to talk about
The Kings?
I,
No, I'm just playing.
no, I think I want to talk about putting the right people around you. Because I know Juju can, she'll understand this too. Because like her and her hubby are similar to me. It's like I like to say I'm a jack of all trades but master of none. And I think um, even though I know how to do a lot of things, there's still a lot of things I don't know. So those things that I don't know, I tend to put people around me who do, and it has benefited me so much. And I don't think we look for that when we build relationships with other people. I don't think we look as the person as a value. You know what? I think people are in people's lives for reasons and seasons. You know, and I rather have people in my lives for reasons, and that way, I just found it more beneficial. I don't want to expel too much now, so I'm gonna touch on that tomorrow. But I think that's what I want to talk about tomorrow. Yeah. And then I got to go back. It was something that bro said in um, that Tim McDouble videos that I wanted to touch on too. I got to go back and look at that video and write it down. I got to start writing more things down because I ain't got no more space in my phone. Usually I just speak it in the voice recorder and go back, but
You know
I
what,
ain't got no
man?
more
You'll
space.
feel good, and we can chop this up, But hey, bro, man, you'll feel better if you just write it down with pen and paper.
Yeah.
Like go to the old school when making your real plans. You know what I'm saying, and then transfer it into the technology. You know what I'm saying, but write it down so that you'll always have it, bro, and you can refer to those manuscripts.
The only and this ain't no excuse, but I got a 3 year old who is similar to me, and when he wants something, he don't ask. He climbs in the refrigerator, bro. Like he literally climbs in the refrigerator. When he wants something, he figure out a way to get it. He got something from the top of the refrigerator, and I didn't know how until I watched him. He took a chair, took his stool, put it on the counter, climbed on the counter, stood on the stool, and got to the top of the refrigerator. He has no fear, bro. Like my son is crazy, bro. I'm telling you. I'm like, how did he get that popcorn from the top of the refrigerator? And then I heard like the chair move, and I got up, and I'm looking like he got, we got a stool for him to brush his teeth at the sink. He took the stool, he put the chair on the counter, took the stool, got on the chair, put the stool on the counter, climbed on the counter, stood on the stool, and got to the top of the refrigerator. So it's like any childproof lock, he didn't figured it out when he was two. How to any if he sees something, he can um, he just replicate what he see.
You
But you
know, I'm
can't
so
do stuff in front of him.
I'm so old. Word, man. When I talk to you, I be feeling like so old, bro. When you was telling me about how he's able to do those things, I was thinking about the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts. Boy, he gonna be great. He gonna
Oh,
get
he'll be
all the
awesome.
patches. He gonna get
Oh,
all
he,
the,
hey,
he
no,
gonna get
he.
all the awards.
Do you know he watched me? I made him because I got a walking stick and I made it. I like to whittle every now and then, and he took some scissors and he was whittling a popsicle stick with the scissors. I'm like, oh my god, you gonna cut yourself? Like everything I do, he watches and he mimics it. Like he is so like his he's so mechanically inclined. It's scary,
I know,
bro. Like
CC.
he can't have a screwdriver. He can't. If you give him a screwdriver, he gonna start taking things apart.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he already took the door off the bottom hinge. He couldn't reach the top. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, yeah, don't he can't. Yeah, that's my little monster, man. But
That's what's
uh,
up.
I encourage all that though. I don't yell or scream at him because, like I said, that's naturally coming out of them. So I don't want to discourage them or, but I do got to direct them. I just got to direct them, not discourage, but direct. Um, so I got him a little tool set. So he got his it's not like a toy tool set. He got a little metal hammer, a little metal screwdriver, but he only could use it when we, go in the garage. And I let him like he got a like this big old car garage thing. I let him help me put it together. I had to tighten it up, but I let him put the screws in and let him do it. You just got to
See,
not tell
that's
him you
what's
can only
up,
use
man.
it. Yeah,
That's what's up, bro. That man keep doing that.
yeah. I don't discourage them from things. I just guide them and direct them to do it the right way and do it under my supervision. Like you can do this, but only when we do it together. You know.
Well said.
Um,
Well said.
so yeah, I don't discourage no natural gifts that kids have. I think those should be um, that we should, like I said, guide them with it, not discourage them. So,
Mhm.
bro, I'll be on here talking to you till 5 in the morning. Let me get off.
All
I
right,
appreciate.
man. Well, hey, man, I'm gonna drive down. Peace and blessings to you. Word. Thanks for having me. The chat. One love to everybody that's here, man. Please sub up to all the content creators in the chat. We got some great people, man, and we're building around here, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you, bro.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. And Cece, I know you just woke up. I appreciate you coming through. Just know you're always welcome here. Always appreciate your insight. And I appreciate everybody for rocking out. Those who started and those who ended with a your time is valuable, and for you to spend it with me, I can't be nothing else but humble. So I really appreciate that. James, you know you my boy. Juju, you already know where you at. Tell bro I said what up though. Realist, everybody. Yak, appreciate you coming through. Cali King, always a pleasure to see you, brother. Who else came through? Who else came through? You know, if I didn't say your name, you know I appreciate you. Um, yeah, that's all I got for y'all tonight. And always, um, if y'all ever think of a topic or anything, you can hit me up on IG. You can hit me up in the comments after the show. You can even hit me up. You know, Juju always throw my email in there. I do check it. I got to be conscious of checking it. So I do check it at least 2 or 3 times a day. But if it's any subject that you would like to talk about, just let me know. Because like I said, this is more about building and sharing information. So anything that y'all can think about, I'm always open to discuss it. I think Saturday, my wife will come on. She want to talk about the paranormal, either Saturday or Sunday. Um, but she also want to talk about relationships, and um, I think that's dope too. You know, like I said, I'm not an expert. I just know a lot of stuff, and I benefited from a lot of things, and I just want to share that information. And maybe it'll help, or maybe it'll just give a little bit of understanding. But that's what I do here. Um, and like I said, for y'all to spend the time to listen to me talk, I can't be nothing else but humble. But y'all know what I always say: care about how you feel. You know, conversations do build nations. And if I say anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, help me spread the word. But that's all I got.